What's up, everybody? How are you doing? Welcome to the MOCA Weekly Town Hall. It's another week. It's another Town Hall. It's another MOCA. My name's Max. It's nice to be here. Untitled, Renee, Daim. How's everybody doing?
Yo, good. Doing well.
Yeah, totally.
managing.
Just lost a rank match in Pokemon PCGP. Fucking pissed.
Your attack wasn't super successful.
It's not about attacks necessarily. It's more about like the cards. I was using an off-meta deck. It's not a big deal. Pleasure as always to be here with all of you. New addition to the background today. Got this nice Chase Sapphire hat from the US Open. If anybody cares about tennis.
Nice.
MOCA Weekly Podcast. MOCA Weekly Town Hall is sponsored by Chase.
Nice.
Wallet.
You've not been sucked into the pickleball cult yet?
Oh, I fucking love pickleball, as it turns out. But I only love pickleball because I have no appreciable tennis skills, and it's the only way I can feel like I have any kind of skill in racket sports. I used to play squash a lot in college, so perhaps that's neither here nor there.
I was pressured towards a tennis career for like 6 years of my childhood.
Interesting.
I used to have like literally daily tennis practices, and
Really?
as it sometimes happens with these things, instead of endangering sports greatness in me, it made me come to hate tennis for most of those years. Yeah, I think it's been more than a decade or two since I last held a racket. I don't hate it anymore, but yeah, the echelons of the tennis world were not meant for me, alas.
Are they meant for you, Renee, or Untitled? Any tennis in your past lives?
Not really, but I like to play squash. We have nice squash courts in our town.
The famous Hamburg squash courts.
Yeah,
For hamburgers.
all the hamburgers are allowed to play squash.
I will say, fair or unfair, my kind of assumption, I don't think we've ever talked about this, but I think my assumption is that everybody who works at MOCA, maybe not the most athletically inclined. Daim, obviously, I was incorrect on your part. Maybe that's a fallacy I'm making, just the general vibe of crypto art, but that was the tacit assumption that I was going under. Not a lot of artist athletes these days.
I was a D1 basketball player.
Yeah, I would know your fucking name if you were. You pick the one. You say fucking swimming. You want to say lacrosse. You want to throw rowing out there. We can have that conversation. But if you were a D1 basketball player, I
do crew. No.
Yeah.
I used to be athletic in high school and no longer. I was terrible at tennis. Never really stuck with it.
Yeah, I think your assumptions probably stand even for me in the present day. But I did tennis for 6 years. I did cross country running for a few years, and
Dame,
there was a time.
Were you a grunter? Were you like?
I don't think so. I don't think so. No, I wasn't.
This is the conversation that people really want on the MOCA Live podcast. And it's not MOCA Live, it's MOCA Weekly. They're different. I'd love to start today talking about Raster, if that's okay.
Renee doesn't like that idea.
I know we were talking in our internal chat.
That had to piss him off.
Renee hates Rasta.
Do you hate raster, Renee?
Yeah, Renee, why do you hate Raster?
I was just like manipulated to leave the stream by my browser, which hates Rasta.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't that
Okay.
my personal opinion?
Sure.
It's a big browser thing.
Yeah, brave.
Renee does not necessarily reflect the views, opinions, or attitudes of the Museum of Crypto Art Institution.
Yeah.
So maybe Untitled and Daim, you're the best people to talk about this as artists yourselves with large bodies of work, but have you used this site? Have you used this platform? I mean, I just played around with it and I saw it and I was impressed. But I'm just curious if you have any thoughts, opinions. I know that this is something that's been, how many times have we talked about just the lack of like discoverability and categorization and what's the word? Coagulation, I suppose, of an artist's whole oeuvre. So it seems pretty exciting on its face.
They even use the word oeuvre.
Well,
Yeah, so I think honestly, my impression is they might be the first people to sort of ever approach this thing and like sort of be trying to do it right.
Mhm.
Because I think everyone else that has done it until recently sort of approached it from a, what can we technically do, and let's make that our goal perspective, which was never going to work with something as messy as an artist's totality of their crypto art between potentially multiple wallets, multiple chains, some of them layer twos, some of them wholly unrelated to Ethereum, and take it a step further still. I actually had a bit of brief conversation with I think one of the founders, or at any rate, one of the people with Raster, and they basically suggested to me that they are intending to sort of use some clever approach to suggesting sort of thematic groupings, or like unofficial series groupings to artists to approve for how their works are displayed. Now, this is sounding abstract. So what I'm talking about is for a significant portion of my crypto art life, basically, neither Known Origin nor Super Rare, the two platforms I started with, supported sort of creating series in some properly metadata structured way, or like giving it its own contract or whatever else.
Mhm.
So basically, your one of ones and your thematic series are not like super easily distinguishable from one another without some sort of analysis or like intelligence involved, realizing that, okay, so these bunch of works are like clearly very similar and are effectively a series, even if they're not obviously marked as such on the blockchain. And so my understanding is that raster art may not currently have that going yet, but intends on the in the foreseeable future to start being able to properly sort of collate these unofficial series with like sort of artist affirmation and approval. And if they do that, that will literally get them to a point where they have like the most genuinely accurate sort of crypto art directory ever.
Yeah.
and that's astonishing, both in terms of the fact that it's finally happening, but also if you kind of think about it from the perspective that, like, you know, I've sort of tried to look at and deal with previous attempts at doing this sort of thing, and um, you know, again, my impression is nobody ever really even tried to do this properly because it, you know, just would have been too difficult and, you know, too much, you know, stuff to consider and too many exceptions to deal with. And yeah, like these guys seem to be it.
Yeah, I should just stop. Perhaps we buried the lead here that Raster is they call itself a digital art marketplace, but at least to me it seems more of a or more useful looking at it as like a discoverability tool. Lots of artists, and it seems like they're trying to add more all the time, and all of their work across chains kind of in one place, and you can bid on them, buy and sell, etc. The two people who made it were OX Metaclass and the Funny Guys NFT, neither of which I was aware of before this, but definitely appears like a labor of love. Again, I mean, buried the lead, but like, been doing this myself for 4 years. You guys all much longer, and outside of OpenSea, which is a mess, there was not even any kind of comprehensive attempt at discoverability, especially for art, especially like specifically for art. Untitled, I'm curious if you have any opinions on that as well.
Yeah, no, I love it. I think well, first off, it's a aesthetically beautiful platform. They did a really good job, a great job at displaying things in a minimalist way. It celebrates the art. It puts the art front and center. No fuss of the other platforms that are like very clearly more about price fluctuations in trading. This is about the art, and this is about the artist, and they make that very clear. When you go to the page and you see artist names scrollable through, and it doesn't shout sales, it shouts their work, and that's just like sincerely, deeply appreciated, and it's great. I think functionally, like, super exciting to see. I've never seen my singular Tezos work next to my Ethereum based works, and it's very cool to see that.
Next to your real work.
No, both are very. You're just stirring that pot. You just see that ladle and you're just stirring.
People are saying that you put out second tier outputs on Tezos.
Oh no. All works, all mediums are precious. No, I would say too. Like, I just looked at the activity feed for my page, and I had no idea that I had a couple different works that sold and resold and sold again in the last year that I had no idea about. Like, they were super rare pieces, and I had no clue.
Royalties?
Well, no, it looks like they were done outside of the realm of royalties, so it must have been
super rare. Wouldn't.
Well, I think it was on OpenSea or something else. I have to check where they were sold, but that's something that I didn't know about. Like, where would I find that information if it wasn't on the super rare platform that it was bought and sold? It just looks like a transfer. When you go to super rare, it doesn't look like a sale. But when you go to the activity feed here, you can see here's how much it sold for and who it went to. And that, I feel like there's never been, it's crazy that it's taken us this long to get to kind of a universal page that
right
all of that together. That's amazing. That's so useful.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, let's be clear, like, OpenSea was kind of sort of treated for a long time as though it were that, and there's like, you know, well, less so now with version 2, but in version 1 there were a lot of elements that made it seem like they were trying to be that, but honestly, even in version 1, like, they were shitty for it. Like, you know, by now, and we're on what day 2 of raster art, they have a more accurate and complete list of my works than OpenSea ever has.
Yeah, it is awesome. They put a lot of care into that. You can tell, right? Like, they put our ad. I don't know how they even did that other than manually. You know, like, I mean, I'm sure they didn't do everything manually, but How
I mean,
did they do that? Like,
I half get the impression that, there perhaps might have been like, a lot of social media crawling and like AI processing involved, because that's the
right.
only way I could think you could get all this data, because you know most of the time they seem to already have like multiple wallets figured out for artists and things like that. And how would you get that other than either manually, whether trawling online data or speaking directly to the artist, or having AI do one of those two for you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite cool. I'm interested. I mean, I've talked with Colborne on the podcast about this, but it's so interesting, just the dynamics of running a business within crypto art, especially. And it seems like all of the established businesses are moving in one direction, which is like less discoverability, more specific focus on like big name artists, big name sales. So it's just interesting that like a platform like this is going to arise now, when kind of like even OpenSea is like has made discoverability on the platform nearly impossible with V2 for no conceivable reason. But like, just seems like every established institution is moving away from this. So I don't know if this is a labor of love. I don't know if there's a business model. I don't know if there's, you know, I don't know if it'll even be used. This is very much the kind of thing where I think we all celebrate and love in practice, and then maybe like just doesn't get the kind of like actual financially soluble use that it should, or that we hope it will. So I'm curious to see how this plays out in the next couple of months, if this just becomes industry standard, which I wouldn't be surprised about.
Well, two things I just want to tack on there. One, just to add it in and say big shout out to OpenSea for helping. I love OpenSea this week because they helped us with a metadata issue with rooms, and now everything is back up to speed. So, I'm
Swift
grateful.
and capable service.
I'm very grateful, very thankful. I'm glad we're back.
Take what you can get.
But it's worth mentioning in tandem in this conversation too, that very quietly Rarible changed their platform. And if you go to rarible.com, most collections are not visible anymore, including pretty much actually everything. Only core collections are visible on rarible.com now, and then you have to go to og.rarible.com in order to see things like MOCA rooms or decos or anything else. So I think the timing of this is interesting because we're going through a very big structural shift here between OpenSea migrating from 1 to 2, Super Rare making changes, Rarible. It's interesting. I think their timing is good. They can capture a lot of the artistic kind of energy that's still there, and but yeah, just had to add that as well, that the Rarible shift is interesting, and I think it was relatively quietly done. I wasn't expecting it, but yeah, kind of crazy with all these changes. It's hard to keep up and figure out where you should even be. Like, where's the sticking point?
Mhm.
Where do you go?
Especially with like, and then on top of that, like art blocks is, I've written about this a bunch in the newsletter recently. They're part of their like art blocks 500, like sectioning that off is no longer providing any kind of like curatorial or like marketing support for any new projects after November. It's just basically turning itself into an engine, like a toolkit rather. So it is, again, interesting that everywhere, I mean, what is it now? Rarible, as you say, Untitled, Super Rare, OpenSea, Art Blocks are kind of like segmenting out the projects or focusing in on the projects that they think are, for lack of any better term, worthwhile, and putting their weight behind those. And then like, you have the more kind of like, I guess you'd call it boutique platforms. I'd call like Sovereign on that front, like I don't know if Braindrops is still working, but Braindrops I think represents the same thing. Transient, where it's like, here's the works that we're only showing you the specific works on our platform that like we've kind of like given the go ahead. So interesting. And again, I don't know how they're going to make money. Maybe they don't need to make money. Maybe they just want to exist here.
I mean, if I were them, I would try to, I don't know, try to find a way to allow, you know, like sales and purchases and auctions on their platform the same way like OpenSea does, and you know, you do it in a way that respects royalties, and you know, you'll have artists, you know, eventually preferring primarily to direct, you know, buyers and collectors to there instead of anywhere else. Now, who knows whether, you know, that'll actually fly, or you know, whether that'll bring up enough money to offset whatever, you know, maintenance and server and staff costs they have. But I mean, I certainly hope that you know, this is a beginning to something long lasting, and you know, pro-social and positive for the space.
Yeah, I hope so as well. It would be super cool if they at some point offer an API where you can like query that structured data.
Oh God,
You can
yes.
aggregate it into
Yeah.
like the whole ecosystem that we are building.
And honestly, like, you know, that too feels like something they might conceivably be able to charge for,
Totally.
right?
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine what kind of a resource that would be just for the library if we could just do an API call and have access to every piece, every artist that they've done work on. Actually, maybe it's worth reaching out to them.
Yeah, I think so.
Later.
Makes sense. Like just like aligning.
They're pretty responsive too.
Nice. Yeah, makes sense to align and then explain what we are doing, and the more NFTs we can, especially crypto art pieces, we can pull into our ecosystem to enable like the decos to use them for the rooms curation and people to organize them inside their profile on our page. Yeah, like all of these things is something we want to build. So APIs are essential, and if they already did the heavy lifting, then I think it's totally fair to charge for that.
Totally, it's a good product. And I guess it's just been such a long time since I've seen any kind of like mass market product or just kind of like large scale product that really does seem on its face to be like artist forward. Everyone says they're artist forward, but very few platforms, projects, institutions, I think, actually put the needs and I guess just the needs of artists front and center. So pretty cool. And I'm glad we got a chance to talk about that, because I think that like it was very exciting for me to see it, and it's kind of a little energizing. I'm not gonna lie.
No, it's great, and it does feel like the future for artists like Daim and myself. It's going to be multi-chain. It's going to be these various, you know, different infrastructure that should all connect or funnel into a single place that you can kind of read it and see what the patterns are if you're selling things or not on different chains, and what the markets are, but also just simply seeing a portfolio of works across different different publishing grounds. So yeah, I think it's overdue, and they did a tremendous job. It looks great. And I should also say, I went to their FAQ page. They do support royalties, and they aggregate sales from different marketplaces together, some of which don't support royalties, but if you list on their on Raster, they will support the royalty, which is top notch.
Nice.
And I'm just going to jump in and say, welcome, Pindar. Happy to have you. Have your nice little monograph book right over here.
Pindar.
Not to say that my family is more important than your artwork, but just, you know, It's just how I set up my desk. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Anything else on your guys' mind? Untitled, I'd love to talk more about Vibe, the Hyperfi Vibe, now that it's had another week to kind of settle. I know I wrote about it for the newsletter, and I appreciate your kind words. Feel free to give me more of those. But I mean, I'm sure you've been jumping in and out of that world, Renee. I'm not sure if you've been jumping in and out of that world, but have you seen it develop in any interesting ways?
Yeah. Renee, were you going to talk?
No, go first.
Honestly, all right. Vibe in Hyperfi is one of the feels like one of the rawest like metaverse projects I've seen in a very, very, very long time. It is so fun to hop in there and see what people are working on. For those who don't know, vibe.hyperfi.xyz, you can go in and then prompt your own creations. Everyone is creating their own creations, prompting different 3D environments simultaneously. It's super funny to run around in there and see what people are doing. I went in with an artist who I was talking to who's never kind of entered the NFT scene before, or crypto scene. And I was showing her this world, and her mind was blown, but it was also glitching out on us. And someone built a giant spaceship that like was scaled to infinity, and then everyone was flying through the air.
Okay, let me ask you a question. So I'm sharing my screen right now, right?
Yeah.
Here's what I made. If I can figure out how to get there.
See
this very rudimentary sign. It says "Hello MOCA."
Love it.
How the fuck did somebody build these?
There's Renee who just ran by.
Oh, what's up, big guy?
I did a neon sign nearby that says "When Pets." I forget where that went. It's somewhere around.
Somebody added a drone show in the skies.
Like, how do you code that? Like, do you need like a full-on do you need like a lengthy prompt?
You can inspect it if you click the object and click the code on the side. I didn't know this until Ash said, but you can click it, select it, and then you go to the code. Is it what is it on desktop, Renee?
Yeah, it's like right click for inspect, and then the two brackets.
Yeah, there you go.
This is my first try, by the way. This is 10,000 seconds ago.
Yeah, that seems like a buggy process.
In a way, I mean, it's ironic, but it is exactly what it says to be.
That's true. That is beautiful. I mean, how cool is this? This is what it's all about. I think this is an interesting new type of public space on the internet.
I mean, it's pretty cool just in like the sense that I, for instance, have jumped in this world like once every couple of days just to kind of see what people built, just see what's new. And that's so different than any metaverse platform I've been on, except for like maybe the WIP meetup, although that's very like, I think, intentioned.
Well, yeah, that's also happening in Hyperfi.
Yeah, WIP is in Hyperfi.
It's like, how did you make this satellite up there? How's that even possible?
Probably Vox did it.
Yeah, Vox is like the magician. Like I texted him last night, dude, you are like the number one in doing this. You have to record tutorials, because he was like sharing this arcade hall with the pool tables on Twitter, and I was like, what the fuck? And the way he's doing that is, I have no idea about the process he is like going through to have these ultra high quality assets that he's like just vibing. But I want to learn it.
Yeah, likewise. Like I did that goopy neon thing that you see in the distance that's kind of flat. I was trying to make an Escher solid, and it's super cool what I made, but that's not what I intended. I need Vox magic. Yeah, we need to make a McDonald's and set up employment opportunities for metaverse makers. But like this kind of this is all still, it's insane that it's still working. Like you can log in and all these things have been made, and it's pretty low wait for the world to load. It loads very quickly, all things considered.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is Hyper-5 V2. Like this is very, very neat.
The roller coaster is unbelievable.
Yeah. So I just set up a Hyperworld account recently, not too long ago, and we should do meetups again via
What is
MOCA.
Hyperworld?
Hyperworld's a hosting service for Hyper-5 V2. So you can basically right now, unless you run it locally, you need a server to basically host the world itself. And Hyperworld is a third-party service, not done by the Hyper-5 core team, but it allows you to set up a world and you can invite people to it. So I set one up and we can use it for whatever we want.
Nice.
Do a little sandboxing of our own in there.
It's just very, very impressive. And I know that we talked about this last week, and we basically did this last week, but like this just looks fundamentally different than what we were doing last week. How many people?
Yeah, it's grown a lot.
Like, how many people do you think are building things in this like simultaneously? 10, 20?
Yeah.
Probably 20 or more. I mean, it would be cool to see those stats. Like,
I think what is most intriguing to me is like, what does this look like with like magnitudes higher, right? If there is no limit to the environment, if there's 10,000 people in this and they're all building random shit all the time. Ray, did you do
Yeah.
that? I mean, that's where it's headed, right? Like Star Wars takeover.
Give me an army.
I mean, even just the fact that you know how to, oh, I guess there's a duplicate button.
You can just like hover and hit R to replicate.
I'm still waiting for my Ronald McDonald to load.
And by duplicating things, there is no additional load on the website for that.
Really?
Yeah, it's instancing. So you can copy infinite numbers of those goobers there, and it won't impact performance. Oh my god.
You said infinite.
I did. I wasn't lying. I mean, Ash said infinite, so here we go. Ash is asleep too, so he won't be able to defend himself, which is good. We should put this to the limit.
I'm going to skywrite.
More UFOs, more UFOs.
Oh man, that's fun. That is cool.
This is crazy. You think this is interesting to watch?
I think you should create a TikTok, like one of those like watch Max go nuts in Vibe World.
This is perfect because it's just one button.
Clean. And like there's a lot, I mean, that's very cool that it can basically allow you to, that's very clean.
Yeah, that's sick.
That's awesome. Nice job.
MOCA's making its mark on the world.
Instead of using a pen, he's using a complex geometry brush. But it's animated.
Oh, now it's a false flag operation.
So now they'll never know.
Who would write? Like, this is just honest. This is probably the most fun I've ever had in the metaverse, just doing that right now. Which I think is the point. You think my Ronald McDonald got made?
Oh, let's see.
Oh, I'm trapped in a box.
Gonna have to fly your way out.
Nope. There it is. Well, we certainly managed to have fun here, didn't we?
Grok can't handle it.
Grog, is this true? MOCA sucks? Grog, this true?
Croc, this is true. All right, I'm just hopping out of this.
I'm deleting at least the ones on the ground, Max.
Oh, thank
Keeping
you.
the one in the sky.
I suppose what I've just done is not the etiquette-based thing to do, which is just leave digital trash around. And so I apologize that you're cleaning up my mess.
Yeah, because of people that are doing that, there will be restrictions.
Great
Well,
to see.
I suppose maybe I should jump back in and just delete all of it.
No.
No, please. I don't want to ruin the metaverse for everyone.
The day Max ruined the open metaverse. No.
For everyone.
You got to optimize your polygons before everyone. Clean up your polygons before you leave the open metaverse.
Yeah.
Now, can anyone also delete stuff, Renee,
Yes.
or do you have like special permissions?
Yeah, this is like just everybody has like full permission to edit
Okay.
everything, everyone's stuff as well.
Yeah, this is really a trust system.
It's pretty wild. It's so fucking cool. God damn it.
Well, so Ash, Renee, you might have more insight into this, but the future of this, at least from what I understand, Ash is building a pretty complex system where you can have objects in world be NFTs, and they're very interoperable, obviously, between Hyperfy worlds, and they can travel with your character as you move around. Has he expressed more about how that system will work of kind of tokenizing within these worlds?
Not exactly, but I'm pretty sure that everything is going to resolve around the hype file format, that those are being tokenized. Not exactly sure which standard, but you can call those contracts from within 3D. So I don't think there's something like, I don't think there's like a showstopper there. The more complicated stuff has already been done, and like the whole open source graphics engine and game engine that they've been building, that's way more work than tokenizing the stuff. And I think there will be a marketplace that's going to integrate into their token and stuff like that. I can see this to become like a very vibrant economy.
Yeah, very cool. I mean, the hype format is
Just
so.
sell the ability to replicate things.
Just what? Sorry.
Just sell the ability, like that R button to replicate, like duplicate things. Just sell that. Sell features.
Yeah, well, even like I feel like Hyperfy should do like season I don't know, they should do like, what if they did like seasonal releases of like avatars or objects that you can use, and just kind of, I think that would be a cool way to trace how this grows over time even.
Yeah.
But also I want to collect things that Vox makes.
Yeah. Vox VN.
That's the dude.
Oh,
Yeah.
Brilliant artist, creator.
Check this out. Where can I send this? Into the chat? In the Restream chat?
Oh yeah, I can send that into the Restream chat now.
I just dropped the link to the... Yeah, exactly that one. That's like pretty insane.
Pretty wild. So neat.
Prompting. How even...
Like, how do you... I want to see the prompts.
You can play with the air hockey table? Allegedly.
I'm not sure. That would be like too much. I don't believe that
Crazy.
would already work.
It's very impressive, and it's also interesting because like the better that the AI software in the back end gets, the more creative and capable the creation on the front end will get.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just really interesting. I'm very impressed. I think this is a pretty sea change product. But again, wrote about that in my newsletter this week. If you want to read it, museumcrypto.substack.com is not a big deal.
Yeah, I think we can be glad that we have such a large token holding
I was gonna say,
with the museum.
keeping Hyperfi alive.
Yeah, like the airdrop for the museum was pretty big, and we didn't sell anything, of course, because we want to support them.
They'll come back.
Yeah, it's still I think not bottom, but the market cap I just checked is 2.4 million.
Yeah, that's outrageous. That's crazy. I
Mhm.
mean, these other metaverse projects, obviously, they've existed far longer in a way, but
Fox made $6.8 billion valuation. Nobody ever fucking used that shit.
yeah, their token is still worth what, $750 million or something like that. And same with Decentraland in that territory. Like these
664 million. Sand,
664. Oh,
Mindjárt
Decentraland.
édesem, jó?
Yeah, Mana, Decentraland Mana is still 573 million market cap. That's like, yeah, 150x.
it does not make. I mean, of course, it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But,
And it was like 10x higher, 20x higher in the peak.
Wild.
yeah,
Wild.
it does feel like we've hit a outrageous bottom for some of these projects that clearly, like, this is an interesting example of just where so much innovation is happening here that it's like people always debate about the token flywheel versus the product or what's behind it. Is it all vibes, all vapor? Like what the balance
Mindjárt
is?
szedlek ki, jó?
And I feel like Hyperfi has built so much, and now it's just a matter of kind of activating the token within it, which is so obviously inevitable.
But even look at like Eliza OS, right? It's like Shaw gets kicked off of Twitter and is now in a lawsuit, and like that alone tanks the token price. What, 95%?
Yeah, but they have like by far one of the most adopted open source projects for agents in existence, and it's like they have a wild amount of adoption for this. So many people are using it quietly, most or loudly, but yeah, that's another example. Like it's a project that has incredible adoption. It's just a matter of kind of, and that's usually the hardest thing to get. So many other projects, like for example, Sandbox, they have to do constant campaigns with constant influencers. Everyone buys a plot of land next to Snoop Dogg and tries to get a piece of that, but they never had any stickiness with usage, and that over time that wears away and will inevitably hurt the value of the project. So it's interesting to see Hyperfi, Eliza, these projects that actually have a tremendous amount of stickiness because people are using this stuff, but the token hasn't quite found its footing yet.
I mean, we are either in our little atmosphere, like the four of us, and then these related projects. We are either going to look so dumb in the future or so smart.
Yeah,
Literally no in between.
Yeah, totally.
It's going to be valued in like the billions of dollars, or they're never, ever, ever going to reclaim any kind of market cap. It's not like, it's just crazy.
Zero or hero?
Zero or hero. Anything else you guys want to talk about today? It's 12:46. We have about 15 minutes if we want to use it. Anything else in anybody's mind? Anyone in the audience who's listening, feel free to ask a question. Bring it up. Not all at once.
Kevin O'Leary said that NFTs are a fad.
No. That's like saying Labubus are a fad.
Silly Kevin O'Leary.
They're just postmodern Monchichis.
Totally. I was thinking about those when I saw
Right?
Labubu for the first time. My grandma had them in the living room.
Your grandma had Labubus?
Yeah, the original ones.
She should join us next week.
She doesn't know what a Labubu is. But she knows what a Monchichi is. Same story 80 years earlier.
Wait, what is Monchichi?
Just slightly less monstrous. I mean, they are basically the same thing. Just Monchichis, don't have like monster teeth. They are furry little human-faced, human-handed dolls that were out in like the 80s, if not before even.
Do you guys know who Chivaroshka is?
1974.
Yeah. No clue what you just said, Max.
It's Chivaroshka is a old Soviet cartoon, like a claymation cartoon, and Chivaroshka is the title character, and it's this like little monkey, like this little cute like monkey man, monkey baby boy. Anyways, that's what all the Labubus look like, is Chivaroshka. I don't even know how you would spell that in English, so I'm not even gonna bother like typing it in. Chivaroshka.
These Monchichis look amazing. I've never seen this before.
Here's a bunch.
Really?
I've never seen this ever. This is wild.
This is Chivaroshka, by the way.
Oh, they're all the same. Oh my god, what is this?
What is it, Monchichi?
Do we ever invent anything new in this world? It's all the same thing.
No, dude. There's nothing new.
Nothing.
Under the sun.
Everything.
You want new stuff, you got to look over the sun.
I got a text today saying Pokemon cards are the new.
Corbon FOMO'd me in while he was visiting me. I bought my first graded Pokemon card.
What'd you get?
In German, it's called Smatbo, but it is Butterfun.
Butterfree?
Butterfree.
Butterfree.
Yeah, I got a Butterfree PSA 10 first edition.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, at Courtyard.
My brother got this for me for my birthday. It's not
Tokenized.
Yeah, what is that?
It's a fake Charizard card with a big old butt. It's all robust.
That is glorious.
I have all these old Pokemon cards. They're not graded and they're in terrible shape, but they're like cool and old and probably worth something. And I could have sworn they were here. This is like 2 months ago now. I could have sworn they were here. I have no idea where they went. They've all vanished. And I could not be more upset about it.
Uh-oh. You gotta track those down.
Sounds like they might have been eaten by a Labubu.
Whoa.
That's not how Labubus work, dude.
Those teeth are not decorative, you know.
I was a little pissed off. I don't have it.
Yeah, they're just plants to figure out where the Pokemon cards are in residential homes.
Yeah, Pokemon.
That's the real Labubu master plan. Just get all the Pokemon cards.
Yeah, just consume your rivals.
So we
man,
MOCA. All
What's
right,
that?
we're talking about Pokemon cards. It's 12:51. Let's just get out of here. Am I frozen?
No.
There we go. Cool. Let's bounce. Untitled, Renee, Daim, thank you very much for being here. Thanks to everyone for being in the audience. We'll be back next week, and a pleasure as always. We'll see everybody.